Hello and welcome back together to this weekly update on financial markets. I will cover, like always, with you the S&P 500 index, US oil, gold, and Bitcoin against the US dollar. I show you all my trades on the weekly, daily, and 4-hour time frame, and maybe you got an idea of how your trading can look like in the following days and weeks. Let's start together with the weekly and the S&P 500 index. S&P 500 on the weekly time frame. Here you can see that we have a broken weekly uptrend. We got a break below the last low and declined heavily till we met resistance from the last high from January 2022. MACD wants to cross to the upper side. The 200 moving average wasn't far away from the lowest point of this decline, and we have already seen a recovery of the 10-week moving average to the upper side, pretty extended to the upper side in my opinion. I think we have to cool a little bit down for continuation, but for me that now looks like a V-shaped recovery, and the likelihood of new all-time highs is, in my opinion, now higher than lower lows. Let's switch one time frame lower to the daily time frame. Here you can see that we got a broken white solid downward line to the upper side and moved pretty quickly near the last all-time high. But for now, the MACD indicator wants to turn to the downside, which means normally lower prices. And like you can see, we are hitting a little bit down. I would expect maybe next wave a little bit higher and then a continuation lower. I would like to see a move all the way back down to this daily support zone, what was once resistance now turns support. And from there on, then we can wait and see for a break of this ABC movement to the upper side. Maybe realize a long trade there. That would be pretty sweet, but I have to see something like that or a new prices above the last high here to be sure that we will see, not sure is a thing in trading, but to pretty confident that we will see new all-time highs and to trade long in it. If we drop even one time frame lower for more details, you can see that the 10 4-hour moving average got broken to the lower side. MACD already crossed at this time frame, and then we are getting lower. If you put the Fibonacci retracement tool from the low to the high of the movement, you get a 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level around this daily support zone, which is a likely Fibonacci retracement level for continuation higher if it's an intact uptrend. I hope so, also for my long-term investments. And yeah, so if we reach that level, that would be a nice spot for thinking about longs, but we will see next week. And I will update you like always in my videos, so subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. That's all I have for you for the S&P 500 index. Let's switch to US oil. US oil here at the weekly time frame, the pretty long-term view, we got this red solid monthly downward line that got broken to the upper side, and since then we are correcting towards the breakout zone. You could argue that we have here an A, B, C correction. Maybe leg C gets even lower. Wouldn't be unusual here because we lost this weekly support zone to the downside, and normally that means we will see maybe a pushback to it. We already have seen a little bit of that, and then further declining prices, but we will see. Let's drop one time frame lower to the daily time frame. You can see we got at the moment a solid white daily downtrend line, and prices at the moment still below that. So until we see prices below this downtrend line, I am more bearish for oil than I'm bullish. Maybe we'll see a breakout, and then we could talk about this here and look at that if that's the case, if we see there long potential. But at the moment I'm more bearish, like I already said, and maybe if we see a retest of this white downtrend line, maybe we find here some opportunities at 4-hour time frame for going even short on oil. Let's switch to 4-hour time frame. At the moment, nothing spectacular to spot here. I don't see a good opportunity at the moment. I would really like to see a retest of this white solid downtrend line in combination with this 4-hour resistance zone here, and from there on we can wait for a bounce and a break of a lower movement, so waiting for an intact downtrend and then speculating on lower prices. I keep you, like I already said, updated in my following videos. Let's switch to gold. gold at the weekly time frame. I think since I started this YouTube portfolio with this paper trading account here, I never have seen a weekly view that looked bearish for gold, to be honest. On the weekly long term, gold looks spectacular bullish, one all-time high after another, an intact uptrend with no lower low or lower high so far. MACD is pretty much stretched to the upper side. It seems like it would like to turn to the downside. We will see the last weekly candle was a pretty bullish green candle, bouncing from the 10-week moving average to the upper side. Let's drop one time frame lower to the daily time frame. For more details, you can see that even on the daily time frame, it ain't looking bearish. High highs, high lows. Could argue that we have here a lost cycle, but for me that's more something at the 4-hour time frame than on the daily. We have been bouncing from the secondary daily uptrend, and MACD once again crossed to the upside, which is normally a bullish sign. If we drop to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that we got here this ABC movement, retesting this secondary daily uptrend line and white dotted. And I was expecting that that will continue because I was speculating on a huger decline after such a massive run. So I was expecting something like that, and then we get here to this level where we at the moment are, then bounce and see even lower prices, maybe retesting all the way down to the $3,000 level. Wouldn't be unusual, meeting the white solid uptrend line. For me, that's till now the most preferred case, because we have to cool down to get this thing here further to the upside with no overheating. Maybe this here is a higher high, but you can also argue that maybe it's something like this here. And then we will bounce the next week, beginning next week, and then decline lower, and then everything would be fine, and we will probably see prices all the way back down to the $3,000 level in a couple of weeks. And from there on, we can wait for a break of a downtrend line to the upside and get long again. I'm not willing to short this here. I burned my fingers often enough, like I said in a couple of videos so far, with shorting such a strong bull market. But if we would see a huge break to the upside, maybe retesting this high here, and then coming back down, retesting this broken downtrend line, and then breaking again the retest to the upper side again, on this level here, I would probably go long in gold with a small position. But it's not my favorite scenario, like I already said. We let it till now like this here, and we'll see next week how it will develop. That's all for gold. Let's go to Bitcoin and the US dollar. Bitcoin on a weekly time frame looking pretty sweet with new all-time highs, like the title of my last video was. MACD crossed on the weekly to the upside, which is a bullish sign. The last bounce was from this weekly uptrend in combination with the last high of the last impulse. And from there on, we have seen only green candles, making a slightly higher high here. If we drop one time frame lower to the daily time frame, you can see this broken daily downtrend line. We had small consolidation here, and after consolidation, breakout to the upper side, I was moving into a long position with stop loss below the low of the last movement. I already was moving the stop loss to my entry level to take the trade risk free. Until now, that was a good idea. MACD seems to get exhausted a little bit here and wants to turn to the downside. Wouldn't be surprising after such a huge run that we will see some kind of pullback before continuation. So I'm prepared for that. If we drop even one time frame lower to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that the 4-hour blue dotted uptrend is still intact, not broken yet, but I would expect it in the coming week. Or we see a pretty strong sign that we will continue through right away with no consolidation. It ain't impossible in Bitcoin, but my favorite scenario would a little bit of cool off and then continuation, because that's the healthier way for Bitcoin, and that would probably mean that we can go further in price in this 4-year cycle for Bitcoin. Also, MACD is making lower highs while prices are making higher highs. Not a perfect timing indicator tool here, but the direction is clear. It could be a good time for a break of this trend line, a retest, and then continuation lower, maybe all the way down to the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level, which would be a good retest area for then continuation. Maybe even higher. This here is also an area where price got a lot of support. Maybe we don't even drop that far. This could even align with this 200 moving average at the 4-hour time frame. So we will see. I will keep you updated if that's the case. I'm maybe looking to even increase my position here on the long side. I'm pretty bullish for Bitcoin because an all-time high is never a bad thing. That's it for this weekend report, guys and girls. I hope you have a great weekend and a good start in the week ahead. Till next time, bye bye.